Hey, it's Maciek Rutkowski, and this is my life. You remember these long and boring unboxing videos that every single YouTuber does and that I swore to myself that I would never do? Yes, this is one of them. But it's not because they send me a product that I'm getting paid to advertise. It kind of is, but that's not the point. Why I'm doing is because every winter, like every more or less this time of the year, I get super excited and feel like such a kid again and receiving, you know, kind of presents, and I feel I could dirty my pants just by looking at them, just by touching them, you know, no action, just looking, you know. So today I want to share this stoke, this excitement with you. And I just got some brand new spanking FMX Racing boards. They're right here behind that door. So let's go check them out.
Yeah.
So we're here at Easy Surf Shop. This is their warehouse that they asked me not to show, but but it's a warehouse, you know. It cannot be really. Yeah, it's a warehouse. That's how a warehouse looks, you know. And the boards, they should be somewhere there around the corner. There's a bunch more boards up there. And the fresh FMX Racing batch is just here. So there's like, God knows how many, a container of boards right there. And I need to pick myself my bunch. And the way it works usually is I get a list from the factory that shows all the weights. And because I'm a selfish fucker, I choose the lightest ones. Usually it just goes by the, you know, by the team and by the kind of results. So number one gets like the lightest ones, the second guy gets the second lightest and whatever, and they're kind of distributed here and there. So there's some boards kind of pre-picked for me, but I have to say that looking at this list, it was crazy to see how consistent they are. Generally, you know, when I had boards from other factories, from other sponsors, the differences were, you know, up to like 300-400 grams. And here, I'm picking a board that is probably 50 grams heavier than the heaviest board of the batch, you know? So the differences are tiny. And also the differences in shape, you know? Kinetic Factory, Vietnam is doing an amazing job with this. The boards are super consistent. It's like, you know, if on some other brands, the differences were like, you know, 1% in speed, here it's like 0.1%, you know, but still, you put the 10th from this, you put the 10th from your best mast, you put the 10th from, I don't know, your best buttons. And if you have a bad start, you don't go anywhere anyway. So I think my boards are somewhere here. If I'm correct, these two, and there's another one there. I'm pretending I was not here before and I didn't check which one's there. So let's take one. I guess let's take the 118, the medium board, to unbox and show you guys some really cool features that are really unique about the FMX Racing range. Now this is the part of the shop they want us to show, so we're gonna do it here. So we got scissors. Should be some dramatic music and close-ups. But we're not gonna do that. Straight away, you can see that we're getting some extras with the board, some goodies. I will show you in a minute what that is. Let's first take this off. And this is the part that I really love. It's kind of, you know how the race cars are kind of covered, you know, when you keep them in the garage, you keep them covered underneath this cloth. This is exactly the same material and it feels amazing, like a racing machine straight away. Let's just undo this, pick it out. Show you guys what's up. Yeah, that feeling of the fresh deck grip, you know, that is unused and it's so sharp. And the board is just so amazingly light and feels super stiff. It's just like, I'm excited. There she is. And she's red this year. We have this brand new, nice, airbrushed deck. Yeah, super cool look with the gradient. Done by hand, you know, in the factory. So that's really, really dope. I love it. And a red bottom. So, the things that are super unique for FMX Racing and for actually, well, some things are unique for FMX Racing and some are for Kinetic board factory in Vietnam. So the first thing is this Gore-Tex vent plug. You know, normally you have to unscrew this vent plug every time you travel by air or the temperature gets a little bit hot, especially with, you know, a black deck, a dark deck. If you leave it in the sun, you always have to unscrew it, etc. With this one, it adjusts by itself. So actually you never need to touch it. I'm about to fly to Tenerife. I'm just gonna put these boards the way they are into the board bag and off I go. The second very, very unique thing, and if you remember a couple of minutes ago, I told you we get goodies with the board. There are these adjustable plates, adjustable cutout plates. So basically, whenever you sail, you can almost have a different board. This area of the board is super, super critical. And by changing the cutouts, you change the water flow around the tail completely. And this year, with our boards, we get actually two different shapes of these cutouts. So we get these round ones, which I believe are the B design, what we call the B design, which are a little bit bigger in the area, especially up front. So the board is a little bit more stable rail to rail, but have a lot more release in here. And these ones, which we used exclusively last year, which are, as you can see, a lot smaller in the front, but a lot bigger in the back, a lot longer, you know? So then the board has a little bit more release from rail to rail, but a little bit more hold from tail to nose. So yeah, subtleties, but they make a huge difference, and it's really cool that you get those made in RTS technology, just if you wonder what that is. Yeah, you get those with the board, so no extra hustle, no extra, you know, shaping, whatever. Oh, and you can use them also, you can use the board also without the cutout plates as well, which frees the board up completely. It's probably the fastest setup in terms of hydrodynamics. There's the most release, but it's kind of the hardest, the most difficult in, you know, in choppy conditions or wherever you need a lot of control, you know. So it's always a balance, and with these three options you can have the best balance in any conditions. Another thing that is maybe not so super unique but is really helpful is these double foot strap plugs. So anybody that windsurfs, especially slalom sails, probably experienced how fucking annoying it is when you put your foot strap and then it just turns slightly, you know. So usually it turns that it's tighter on the entry of the foot strap and wider on the exit. So, you know, the base of the foot strap kind of twists like this. So with double screws, you don't have that. At the same time, what you can do is you can still use single screws, but you can use the outside position or the inside position. So if you have massive feet, like for instance Finian Maynard, he would use probably the inside position or maybe the double thing, I'm not sure. If you have small feet like myself, you would probably use the outside position to be a little bit further out on the rail. Fun story, in France in 2019, I was caddying, I lost in the quarterfinals and Finian was on the final, and they were trying to run the final for like, I don't know, 8 to 10 times or whatever. So I was out there with his medium gear while he was on his big stuff. I could put like my 2 feet in one of his straps. And then he repaid the favor in Fuerte, where I think he went out on somewhere earlier, and I was in the final, and it was the last final of the event or of the day, I'm not sure. And he, so when I caddied for him, I caddied his 7/8 and it was flat water. But he had to caddy like my 7/0 and my small, or my 7/0 and my medium board, but I was on 6/2 and my small board, so it was like 30 plus knots, maybe 35 knots. And he says he couldn't even put his big toe into my foot strap. So yeah, that must have been fun for him, sailing around in Fuerte, super choppy, 35 knots with no foot straps. So thank you, Finian. Finian Maynard is the guy behind this brand, one of the, you know, all-time great racers, and an amazing shaper who shaped this baby, of which I could talk for another 20 minutes, but I swore this is not gonna be a long and boring unboxing video, so we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna unwrap the rest of my boards, and tomorrow I leave to Tenerife, so I'm excited as hell. See ya!